Hi, welcome to this training on accessibility evaluations. This is lesson 3 in the course on accessibility and web development. In this lesson, we'll learn about the goals of accessibility evaluation, 4 basic principles to consider when evaluating an interface, and the best way to conduct an accessibility evaluation progressively. An accessibility evaluation is an iterative process to make sure that everyone can use an interface regardless of any impairment, limitation, or mode of interaction. It ensures that all users have the ability to access, consume, and interact with digital media, while content, message, and purpose are maintained. Evaluations check for compliance with Federal Section 508 and the Illinois Information Technology Accessibility Act, and for well-formed, valid code. As mentioned in Lesson 1, accessibility is ultimately a usability concern. An accessible website is more usable for everyone, but especially for users with impairments in vision, hearing, motion, or cognition, or for users with difficulties due to language, age, or technical limitations. Because accessibility is about usability, it's important to consider a user's goals and perspective in the evaluation process. An accessible website should communicate purpose, structure, navigability, and interactivity to the user. Lesson 1 discusses these concepts in more detail. In an accessibility evaluation, check that these principles are communicated to the user clearly and consistently. To conduct an evaluation, try a progressive approach first. Take 4 steps to get the most comprehensive evaluation. First, navigate with the keyboard. Second, use evaluation tools. Third, explore the source code. And fourth, prioritize your results. Start with the easiest form of evaluation first and work through to the more advanced types. No single type of evaluation is enough, but by combining different types, you'll get a more complete idea of the accessibility of your interface. Because so many users of assistive technologies use a keyboard to navigate an interface, the first and easiest test to perform is to remove your mouse and use only one finger and a keyboard to access your interface. Most disabled users use the tab key to move from point to point, but arrow keys are also important navigation tools. Make sure that you can operate everything well, meaning that you can reach all interface components and perform all actions available on the page. Be sure to match visual focus to keyboard focus using the A-hover, A-focus, and A-active CSS tags. This is essential for visual keyboard users so that they can tell where they are on the page. Finally, as you move through an interface, make sure that the navigation occurs in a logical order. As mentioned in Lesson 1, the structure of the code determines the path of navigation, or reading order, through an interface. If you experience a sudden disorienting jump while navigating your interface with the keyboard, rearrange your code to match the flow you intend for users to experience. Evaluation tools can help to structure the evaluation process. They provide information on very specific areas and can give you a place to start when you're attempting to find accessibility issues. They can also provide information about issues that would be difficult to detect otherwise. For example, background images are not displayed in high contrast mode on Windows, but unless you are a user of high contrast mode on a Windows machine, you may never encounter that error. There are several different tools that evaluate accessibility in different ways. The Functional Accessibility Evaluator, or FAE, is a web-based tool developed here at the University of Illinois. Some of its strengths include the ability to perform site-wide evaluations up to 3 levels deep, and the fact that it evaluates pages as they are rendered, so you can use it to assess dynamically generated web interfaces. It generates a report that will show you the percentages of your site that pass or fail accessibility standards, and will also warn you of potential accessibility conflicts. You can view detailed reports in each evaluation category and see specific pages that have issues. Another tool is WebAIM's Wave application. You can enter a URL and you receive a report of the successes, warnings, and failures on any page under that URL. Reports display in the context of your page, with icons showing these warnings that make it easy to identify where errors occurred. In addition to assessing hosted pages, Wave gives you the option of entering raw HTML or uploading an HTML file for assessment. A-Checker is another tool for accessibility evaluation. One interesting feature is the ability to select which standards to use in the evaluation, including Section 508 and WCAG 2.0. Also, similar to Wave, aCheckr can assess non-hosted HTML via file upload or entering it into the interface. Unfortunately, it can only assess one page at a time, so it may be better for targeting pages that are specifically problematic, rather than an entire website. Remember that no single tool does everything. All of the standard tools have different strengths and weaknesses, and they catch different kinds of issues. The best approach is to use many different tools and to use them iteratively to get the most comprehensive result. Once you've navigated through your site with your keyboard and run a few evaluation tools, you'll have information on what's working well and what needs to be changed. At that point, it's time to review your source code. Tools like the Web Developer's Toolbar in Firefox and Chrome, as well as Firebug, will make exploring rendered web pages much easier. You can also use W3C's markup validation service to ensure that your code is clean and well-formed. Clean code is much more compliant with assistive technologies and can prevent problematic experiences for users, such as triggering Quirks mode. Quirks mode is a browser's way of coping with non-compliant code, and most visual users don't experience any difference. However, for a user of assistive technology, Quirks mode makes pages behave differently and may even prevent users from interacting with the interface as intended. Additionally, clean code renders properly in more devices, such as tablets, mobile devices, and different screen resolutions and sizes, making the experience better for all users. As a final step in an accessibility evaluation, prioritize your results. Identify the issues that cause the most disruption to the user experience, such as not being able to navigate through a page and reach all interface elements with a keyboard, and fix those first. Also, fix any smaller issues that have easy solutions, such as adding alt text to images. Talk to an accessibility consultant or disability advocate on campus if you're unsure of how to prioritize your findings. In the iterative nature of web development, fixes can occur over time, but make sure you take care of issues that prevent users from successfully interacting with an interface promptly. In conclusion, an accessibility evaluation is designed to ensure that all users can interact with content in a meaningful way. Consider 4 principles when assessing a site: purpose, structure, navigation, and interaction. Use a progressive approach when assessing accessibility. Start with the easier tests first and then build up to more robust tests. After evaluating your interface, make sure to prioritize your results and tackle the most important issues first.